All right, welcome back to a special edition episode of Within Podcast. As you know, we've been doing these special editions. I wish I would have known. So many things have come out of this I wish I would have known series for the Within Podcast. And today we are lucky enough to have Courtney Buhrow with us. Courtney is a special friend of all of us at the People Co. And she'll be joining us for a Potential Within Summit here in a couple of months. So we're super excited to have her today to share her I wish I would have known. She might have more than one like us, but maybe she just has one. She's smarter than us. So, Courtney, over to you. What is your I wish I would have known today?
I do actually have two. My first one, I wish I would have known and understood what interest loan payments were when I was looking at colleges and what it meant to go out of state and need a bank loan to do that because interest rates were in the nines, 9% plus. So I do wish I would have known that. But now I do. And my second, I wish I would have known. It especially with my first two kids, is every kid's temperament is different, and what social media says and what the different programs are for sleeping and feeding training and different things like that. Um, I wish I would have known that you just need to listen to your own kid and what their needs are overnight and the whole debacle on what's the best. Do you put your kid down to sleep or do you put him down awake and whatnot? But just learning by the third kid of do what the kid is asking for. And there is an actual need, and not every kid is going to fit into the programs that are online for sleeping and eating and those kind of things.
Let's unpack the interest payment one.
Yeah, wow, that's a good one.
Have you not heard that one yet?
No, that's a good one though.
Yeah, so it's interesting because I was just with some ladies last night, our book club, and we were talking about the interest rates for home right now because one of them is a real estate agent, and some people are actually taking their homes off the market because interest rates have bumped up a little bit because of some of the uncertainty that's going on in our world right now. So it's so true, the impact that interest rates have on us, regardless of whether it be a credit card payment, then those just keep, it seems like those were a lot lower when I first got credit cards than they are now too. But what just brought that? I mean, why that one of all things?
I think my husband taught me a lot. He's in the actuarial financial world. And when we were getting ready to get married, I was like, oh, by the way, like these are my student loans. And like by the time, and I went to 7 years of school. And so by the time I got out of grad school, that 9% interest loan from my freshman year of college, I mean, my 4 years of undergrad were more expensive than my medical, like grad school. And just how much that just straps people. And there is just like it feels like a lot of bondage when you have those loans that you have to figure out how to pay off and whatnot. And I don't know, I think that just like came to my mind of just looking back and wishing I would have known that because I think it would have changed my decisions, and maybe it was a good thing that it happened the way that it did because I mean I went where I went and I transferred back home because it would be cheaper, and that's when I met my husband. But it does make your decisions different down the road when you have this large monthly payment.
I met my husband, and I think it took him almost 15 years to pay off his student loans.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, and granted, I was fortunate, and I still thank my parents to this day because I didn't have as much of debt when I came out of college. And so those of us that have that are fortunate and don't have that realization until we go and buy a home or a car, some of those other life purchases, if you will. But yeah, it all kind of shapes who we are and where we're at and why we do what we do now. So I love that one.
My husband had no college debt. And he didn't need to go to grad school or anything. And so we literally got married right out of college. And he was like, I don't have any debt. And here you are. It's all this money that we're gonna have to figure out how to pay back. And thank goodness for him that he taught me, because we paid my student loans off in less than 10 years out of grad school, and huge accomplishment and huge sacrifice that we had to um, kind of hold off on things so that we could make sure to get that paid down. But it's a big thing.
Yeah. And ironically, we just made Brooklyn's last college payment this week. So we're celebrating that.
Absolutely.
For sure.
That's so amazing.
She'll have a little bit of debt, but the portion that we've paid, we're officially done. So
yeah.
And
I do think it's important. I think it gives you a little skin in the game, being the student and knowing, like, okay, I have to go to work after this. I have to be able to pay this off, and it makes you just more dedicated to what you're doing, I think, when you have to. I mean, hopefully you're not swamped, but having a little bit, I think, is important. At least that's what I keep telling myself for my own kids.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a little bit. You gotta figure that out.
Well, and Allie, you can probably address the other wish I would have known with having twins, but just the personalities simultaneously.
Yeah. Oh, God. I don't know. I mean, I will say, like, we were really lucky in that all of our kids were really good sleepers. But I think it's just because and again, I think every kid, totally agree, Courtney, like every kid is so different. But we figured out, like, if we stuck to a schedule, and we were kind of crazy about sticking to a schedule. We sometimes laugh about it even now, because even now I'm like super schedule regimented, even though they're way older, but they're not way older, but they're older. But yeah, I would totally agree. Like that whole thing of like what you read. And I'm on social media, but I didn't read a lot. And like, I just tried to like stick with our schedule, and that seemed to work. And so that's what we did. But I mean, it was I just think being a mom or being a parent is like just really hard, like way harder than anyone ever like really told you what it would be like. And so, you know, your kid compared to the other kids, and I even think now, like at 11 and 8, so Olive's 11 and the buddies are 8, like their personalities are so different. And even Fritz and Otto, who are identical twins and super identical, like they are so different in how they show up in the world. So like the fact that we thought at some point, like, oh, you can do the same thing with both children is so not true, right? Like it's just not true.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even disciplining.
So much. Yes, it's totally different. It's totally different. And boy to girl, and first kid versus second kid, like it is just wild. How they do.
I would say the one thing I've learned is you just can't compare them. I mean, and it's not fair to them, and it's not fair as a parenting style to compare your kids, because, and I have a son and a daughter, so it's even harder, you know, why would you be comparing them? But I felt like growing up that it was always a little bit of a comparison. You know, we are always competitive, my brother and I, so it's hard not to do a little bit of they do it themselves, and then you just kind of branch onto that. So yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, thank you for sharing your I wish I would have knowns. We just never know sometimes what's going to come out of one's mouth. And we love it for that, because we learn from other people's I wish I would have knowns, and it turns into conversations of the future. So
absolutely. I didn't even know it was going to come out of my mouth. So
that's amazing.
Here we are. Yeah.
I wish I would have known. All right.
Exactly.
Well, thanks, you guys. We appreciate you joining us, Courtney, for this special episode of I Wish I Would Have Known, the Within podcast. Have an amazing day.